Hey guys, Matt here. Now, even though it really doesn't seem like it, it's been about a year since Smallville went off the air. And back in April they started this digital comic of Smallville Season 11. Well, early May they started releasing those digital comics into actual issues. So, since I can't be reviewing any Smallville episodes for right now, I'll be reviewing the Smallville Season 11 issue number 1. It's written by Brian Q. Miller, and the artwork is by Per Perez. I think that's how you say his name. As soon as I saw this in the comic shop, I was like, yep, gotta get that. And I was kind of hoping that this comic book would mesh together the TV show Smallville, but also because the comic book introduced more elements that the show just couldn't do, whether it's awesome, amazing action sequences, or even bring back characters that we know. And I'm glad to say this comic did both of that. It takes place right after Smallville Season 10 ends. It takes place the 6 months after Clark pushed Apocalypse away from Earth, 6 months after Lex's accident and forming of LexCorp, and 6 months after Clark and Lois decided to put their wedding on hold. As far as the artwork goes, the characters actually look just like Clark and Lois and Lex and Oliver and Chloe, just like they did last time we saw them in Smallville. But this first issue actually introduces, well, it doesn't introduce them, but brings back two characters that I didn't think I'd see for a while. One of them being Lois's father, General Lane, and the other one, well, just read it and you'll find out. This issue isn't just a reintroductory of the characters and what they've been up to. Something happens in this issue. These Russian cosmonauts are up at this satellite in space, and one of the astronauts working outside of the spaceship sees this red glaring thing come at them, and they don't know what it is. It doesn't show up on the radar, and then all of a sudden the radar goes crazy, and it's like this aurora borealis type thing, this red stuff. It's almost like a bunch of little meteorites crashing and going through the ship. And then Clark comes and saves the day, and all the Russian cosmonauts are relieved. And it's also funny because when picking up a paper discussing the event, Lex runs into Clark, and I was excited to read that because I was like, how is this new Lex that had his memory erased from the TV show, how's he gonna act when he sees Clark Kent? And the way they interacted, Lex says that his memory is coming back piece by piece, but it's only from news clippings and articles that he's read about the day of the first meteor shower when Clark arrived on Earth. It's not real clear what Lex remembers or doesn't remember, but for right now it seems like he doesn't know about Clark's history, and they reference what happened to Lex about him forgetting his memory as the incident. That's all they've said about it so far. And other than that, I mean, the comic's a nice little read. Unfortunately, Oliver and Chloe are still married in this, which is something I didn't like when Smallville went off the air. I was like, I hope they're not together, but this issue proves that they are, so wasn't too happy about that. Also, my only other gripe about this was some of the conversations between Lois and Clark. It seemed like they were just talking a little too much, and one thing I really didn't like about it was Lois would say something, and then Clark would repeat it back to her. Like, I guess she would say, like, oh, I forgot the coffee, and you'd be like, you forgot the coffee. And that got a little annoying, but other than that, the mannerisms of all the characters, even the likenesses of all of them from Smallville are still there. So I can't wait for issue 2. So until next time, guys, see ya. One quick thing I have to point out, just because when I saw this picture, I had to give it a double take. I was so shocked. Now, Clark hears an alarm go off when he's talking to Lex, which causes him to use his super speed and go away. Well, Oliver busts this gang that's breaking into these shipping containers at the docks. And at first they don't show you any of the gang members, they just show you silhouettes. But when they show you the gang, look at this picture. Now, even though the quality on this picture isn't very good, if you can't tell the likeness of each of these characters, It looks like the characters from Sons of Anarchy. Look, you have Tim Coates' character right there, Ron Perlman's, you have Opie right there, you have the one guy with the scar on his face, and then you have Juice right there. Pick up the issue and tell me that's not supposed to be them, because I have a friend who loves Sons of Anarchy and Smallville, and I'm pretty sure he's going to flip out. Okay, that's all I wanted to say. Later.